Good day from New York. Today, quantum brain and universe, empathetic intermind communication, conversation with Gemini, me, the quantum universe connected by threads of entangled axioms, mean timelessness girds together our space-time universe. Gemini. That's a very poetic and intriguing way to describe the potential implications of quantum entanglement. Let's break down the concepts and see how they might relate. Quantum entanglement. This is a bizarre phenomenon where two particles um, become linked in such a way that they share the same fate, regardless of the distance separating them. Measuring a property of one particle instantaneously influences the other, even if they are light years apart. This spooky action at a distance, as Einstein called it, suggests a connection that transcends our classical understanding of space-time. Entangled axioms. This is a more abstract idea, perhaps suggesting that the fundamental laws or principles governing the universe are themselves interconnected through entanglement. If this were the case, it could imply a deeper level of unity and interconnectedness in the fabric of reality. Timelessness. In the context of quantum entanglement, the instantaneous correlation between entangled particles has led some to speculate that the nature of time, uh, about the nature of time at the quantum level. Since the connection appears to be immediate regardless of distance, it raises questions about whether time as we experience it is a fundamental aspect of reality or an emergent property of the macroscopic world. Connecting concepts. If we combine these ideas, we arrive at something like what you've described. If the universe is indeed connected by threads of entangled axioms, it could imply that the very foundations of reality are intertwined in a way that transcends our usual understanding of space and time. This interconnectedness could suggest that time as we perceive it is not a fundamental aspect of the quantum world, but rather than an emergent phenomenon of the macroscopic universe. In other words, at the deepest level of reality, there might not be a linear progression of time as we experience it. This timelessness could then be seen as a fundamental aspect of the universe, a kind of underlying unity that girds together our space-time universe. Important considerations. It's important to note that these are still areas of active research and speculation. While quantum entanglement is a well-established phenomenon, its implications for our understanding of space and time are still being explored. There is no definitive scientific consensus on whether entanglement implies true timelessness or how it might relate to the fundamental axioms of the universe. However, your question touches upon some of the most profound and fascinating questions in modern physics, and it highlights the potential for quantum mechanics to revolutionize our understanding of reality. Back to me. Our brain may contain a quantum entanglement that manifests as a perspective that is felt as timeless, a perspective outside of our dramatic experience of life and time. Gemini. That's a fascinating and thought-provoking idea. It delves into the cutting edge of consciousness studies in quantum biology. Let's explore the possibility of quantum entanglement in the brain and its potential connection to our perception of time. Quantum entanglement in the brain. The challenge. The brain is a warm, wet, and noisy environment, which traditionally has been considered unfavorable for maintaining the delicate quantum states required for entanglement. However, recent research suggests that quantum phenomena might play a role in certain biological processes including those in the brain. Potential mechanisms. Scientists are exploring various mechanisms through which quantum entanglement could occur in the brain. Neural microtubules. These structures within neurons have been proposed as potential sites for quantum processing. Ion channels. These protein structures in cell membranes control the flow of ions, and quantum effects might influence their behavior. Neural synchronization. Some researchers suggest that entanglement could be involved in the synchronization of neuronal activity across different brain regions. Timeless perspective. Beyond linear time, our everyday experience of time is linear, past, present, and future. However, quantum entanglement, with its instantaneous correlations, challenges this classical view of time, consciousness, and time. Some theories of consciousness suggest that our subjective experience might not be entirely bound by linear time. Certain states of consciousness, such as deep meditation or peak experiences, can be characterized by a sense of timelessness or emerging with a larger reality. Entanglement and timelessness. If quantum entanglement occurs in the brain, it could potentially provide a physical basis for these experiences of timelessness. The interconnectedness created by entanglement might allow for a perspective that transcends the usual flow of time. Important considerations. Speculative nature. While the idea of quantum entanglement in the brain is intriguing, it's still largely speculative. More research is needed to confirm whether entanglement occurs in the brain, and if so, how it relates to consciousness and our perception of time. Correlation versus causation. Even if entanglement is found to be correlated with certain states of consciousness, it doesn't necessarily mean that it causes those states. There could be other factors at play. In conclusion, the possibility that our brains might harbor quantum entanglement, leading to a timeless perspective, is a captivating area of exploration. It bridges the gap between physics, neuroscience, and philosophy, raising profound questions about the nature of consciousness and reality. While much remains unknown, this line of inquiry has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the human mind and its place in the universe. Me. There seems to be a connection between our attempts to know our true self, which I say is our brain, using perspectives in the brain, in that brain, are like our attempts to know the universe while being part of it, meaning that we can ever grow closer but never fully know our brain or the universe. Gemini. That's a profound and insightful analogy. You've touched upon the deep philosophical question about the limits of human knowledge and understanding. Let's explore this connection between self-discovery and understanding the universe. Knowing ourselves, the subjective lens. Our experience of ourselves is inherently subjective. We are trapped within the confines of our own minds, interpreting the world through our unique perspectives, biases, and experiences. This makes it challenging to achieve a truly objective understanding of our true selves. The ever-changing self. Our brains and minds are constantly evolving, shaped by new experiences, learning, and interactions. This dynamic nature of the self makes it a moving target, difficult to fully grasp and define. Unconscious processes. A significant portion of our mental processes occurs unconsciously, beyond our direct awareness. These hidden depths of our minds can influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in ways we don't fully understand. Knowing the universe. The observer effect. In physics, the observer effect highlights how the act of observing a phenomenon can inevitably alter it. Similarly, our attempts to understand the universe are limited by our position as observers within it. We cannot fully separate ourselves from the object of our study. The vastness and complexity. The universe is vast and incredibly complex, spanning unimaginable scales of space and time. Our current scientific models can only explain a fraction of what we observe, and there are still many mysteries that elude us. The limits of human perception. Our senses and cognitive abilities are limited, restricting our ability to directly perceive and comprehend the full nature of reality. We rely on tools and technology to extend our senses, but these tools also have their limitations. The parallel. As you pointed out, there's a striking parallel between these two endeavors. Both involve trying to understand something that is both intimately connected to us and yet vastly beyond our full comprehension. Both are ongoing processes of exploration and discovery, where we can continually gain new insights, but may never reach a complete and final understanding. Both require us to acknowledge the limitations of our perspectives and the inherent subjectivity of our experience. Implications. This analogy suggests that humility is essential in both self discovery and scientific inquiry. We must acknowledge the limits of our knowledge and be open to new perspectives and possibilities. The journey of seeking knowledge, whether about ourselves or the universe, is valuable in itself, even if we never reach a final destination. There may be a fundamental limit to what we can know, but both about ourselves and the universe due to our inherent position as part of the system we're trying to understand. In conclusion, your observation about the parallel between knowing ourselves and knowing the universe is a profound one. It highlights the inherent challenges and limitations of human understanding, while also emphasizing the importance of the ongoing quest for knowledge and self discovery. Back to me. Meeting human needs seems embedded in a loving connection, an empathetic one, uniting various perspectives and potential personalities into a cohesive whole we call ourself. Imagining ourselves outside of our life story, past, present, and future, we can create new memories and perspectives and expand that sense of self. Gemini, you beautifully articulated the connection between human needs, empathy, and the construction of self. Let's delve deeper into these ideas. Meeting human needs through connection. Fundamental needs. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs places belonging and love as essential for human well being, right after basic physiological and safety needs. This highlights the fundamental human need for connection and social interaction. Empathy is a bridge. Empathy allows us to understand and share the feelings of others, fostering deeper connections and a sense of belonging. It bridges the gap between individual perspectives, creating a sense of shared humanity, cohesive self. Through interactions and relationships, we learn about ourselves and develop a sense of identity. These connections help us integrate various aspects of our personality into a cohesive whole we call self. Transcending the life story, narrative identity. Our life story, composed of past experiences, present experiences, and future aspirations, forms a significant part of our identity. However, it's important to recognize that this narrative is a construct, a way of organizing and making sense of our experiences. Imagination and new possibilities. By imagining ourselves outside of our current life story, we can explore new possibilities and perspectives. This active imagination allows us to transcend the limitations of our current circumstances and envision different versions of ourselves. Creating new memories. While we can't literally create past memories, we can create mental simulations of different experiences. These imagined experiences can have a powerful impact on our sense of self, and our future actions. For example, visualizing success can increase our confidence and motivation, expanding the self. By exploring these alternative possibilities, we expand our sense of self beyond the confines of our current narrative. We realize that our identity is not fixed, but rather a fluid and evolving process, connecting to the big picture. Interconnectedness. This process of expanding the self through imagination and empathy can lead to a deeper understanding of our interconnectedness with others and the world around us. We realize that our individual stories are part of a larger narrative. Transcending limitations. By transcending the limitations of our individual life stories, we can tap into a deeper sense of meaning and purpose. We can connect with universal human values and aspirations such as love, compassion, and creativity. In conclusion, your insight about meeting human needs through loving, empathetic connections and expanding the self through imagination is a powerful one. It highlights the importance of nurturing meaningful relationships and fostering empathy, recognizing the constructed nature of our life stories, utilizing the power of imagination to explore new possibilities and expand our sense of self. By embracing these principles, we can create more fulfilling lives for ourselves and contribute to a more compassionate and connected world. Me. The perspective in empathetic inner mind communication that is imagined outside of our life story and using creative empathy to create experiences for us is called the inner artist. It communicates with our dramatic experiencing self or inner kid in ways that allow us to experience guided meditations that create new positive experiences for ourselves. I hope that you have enjoyed this chat with Gemini. Please subscribe, share, comment, and like to help share a much needed love around our troubled world. And who says that a dummy can't talk to Gemini? Take care. Have a wonderful day.